Thank you, Ray.
Hey, John, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can. Hopefully you won't hear me at all during this hearing. I just wanted to make sure my microphone was working.
No, that's good. I had sent Mike Chakowski and the other applicant just a reminder that this was a Zoom when I got on here. A lot of times I'm used to seeing all the neighbors on already. So I just want to make sure it was.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, we do want to get done fairly quick.
Yes.
mean, obviously in the right way.
Yes, it would be good.
Okay, good.
Oh, good. And Mike made it home in time.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to go back on mute.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
John, am I number one or number two?
You're the second on the agenda, Mike.
All right, I'm gonna go watch the game. Yell real loud when it's when I'm up.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's public hearing. My name is John Urino. I'm the zoning examiner for the city of Tucson. We have two hearings on this evening. The first is an original city zoning case, C-15-2201, Air Park 10. Mr. Beal, would you like to present the case?
Yeah, Mr. Reno, our lead planner, Lena Perel, will introduce that case.
Thank you. Ms. Perel?
Yes, so this is for establishment of original city zoning, translation of Pima County CI2 zone to City of Tucson I2 zone. This is an application by the City of Tucson to establish original city zoning on recently annexed parcels totaling 79.99 acres. The parcels are located at the corner of the south side of Los Reales Road and the east side of Alvernon Way. Original city zoning is required by Arizona Revised Statute Title 9-471.L and the Unified Development Code Section 4.6. The established procedure is to translate the county zoning in place before annexation into the most appropriate city zoning classification. Lawful existing development will be allowed to continue. Property status regarding non-conforming uses and structures will be determined as needed on a case-by-case basis. For the translation, it's as followed: County Zone CI2, which is County General Industrial, to the city's I2, heavy industrial, including all the allowed uses in CI2. For major streets and routes for a county, having Los Reales Road considered a low volume arterial with a 90-foot right-of-way, translated to the city's major streets and routes for Los Reales Road as an arterial with a 90-foot right-of-way. And the city acknowledges that Los Reales is designated in the county's major streets and routes plan for a 90-foot right-of-way width as compared to the city's designation for 150-foot right-of-way. And the city agrees that the property and adjacent property to the north are only required to accommodate the county's 90-foot right-of-way designation. The city shall include in its next major streets and routes plan update an amendment to revise the right-of-way width for Los Reales adjacent to the property to the 90-foot right-of-way width. Consistent with state statute and the Unified Development Code, the city translation zones provided are the most comparable to the Pima County zones and do not permit densities and uses greater than those permitted by the county. The application of arterial street zone to Los Reales Road extends the zone from the pre-annexation terminus. Translation to the city zones with conditions to reflect pre-annexation and development agreements between the City of Tucson and the applicant as recommended is the appropriate translation from Pima County zoning to City of Tucson zoning. As of this hearing, there have been 0 protests and 0 approvals.
Thank you, Ms. Perel. Would the applicant like to add anything to that presentation?
No, thank you, Mr. Reno. We are good with that.
Thank you, Mr. Chakowski. Would anyone else in the audience like to be heard on this case? Hearing no one, I'm closing the hearing on case C-15-2201. Our next case is a mayor and council special exception land use case, case SE-2201, BioLife Plasma Automall Drive. Mr. Beal, are you going to present the case?
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
Yep, this is a request by Brent Davis of Group Management, Inc. on behalf of the property owners, Solar Holdings, LLC, to allow a blood donor center as a special exception land use in the C3 zone. The special exception site is located on the south side of Automall Drive, approximately 600 feet west of Oracle Road. The preliminary development plan proposes an outpatient medical use plasma donor facility on a 2.56 acre parcel within a 1-story, 14,705 square foot building with associated parking, landscaping, and detention basin. The proposed height of the building is 23 feet 2 inches. The existing C3 zoning allows a maximum building height of 75 feet. The building site is a vacant building pad on a parcel that is partially developed with a retail commercial store within a 10,000 square foot building with a height of 30 feet. The proposed use is identified in the Unified Development Code as a major medical outpatient service blood donor center. When proposed in the C3 zone, the use is subject to the use-specific standards found in the UDC and requires approval through a mayor and council special exception procedure. The proposal is in substantial compliance with Plan Tucson's existing neighborhood building block and meets all the relevant policies of Plan Tucson. The proposal is also compliant with the UDC use-specific standards set forth in the UDC Development Code and subject to compliance with the attached preliminary conditions, approval of the requested special exception to allow a blood donor facility is appropriate. As of today's date, there's been one approval and one protest.
Thank you, Mr. Beal. Would the applicant like to be heard?
Yes, thank you. I'm Brent Davis representing Build a Suit and BioLife. I apologize, I have a cold. And I'm going to be quick because we all know that at 7 o'clock, something that Tucsonans look forward to, the NCAA basketball tournament will start. So those of you who are not from Tucson, you may not get that, but we do. So we're going to be quick. So we have on the call, we have Jason Harder and Dwayne Musser from Build a Suit. We have Joe Cerrone, our engineer from JMC Engineering, and we have Mary Grace McNear from Buse Gilbert, our law firm, and myself. So we're here to answer any questions. The only thing I want to add is that we came before the zoning examiner in 2018 and asked for a similar request out at 8019 East Golf Links Road, which was granted. And BioLife did design and construct a facility out there. And I'm happy to report we've had no issues. I mean, 0 issues with the neighborhood out there because of how they operate their facilities. And this will be a carbon copy of those operations. And we think it's a good fit.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Would anyone else in the audience like to be heard on this case? Hearing no one, I'm closing the hearing on case SE 2201. Thank you all for your attendance, and I hope you all have a lovely evening. Good night.
Good night.